First, I want to go back and explain exactly what is going on. As of right now, the Senate Judiciary Committee is still set to vote on his nomination on Thursday, but that could change. Two Republican members of the committee, Jeff Flake and Lindsey Graham, say they want to hear more from Kavanaugh's accuser, 51-year-old psychology professor Christine Blasey Ford. Graham says that should happen immediately so that the process can continue as scheduled. Flake said, quote, "We cannot vote until we hear more." This morning, Ford's attorney said she's ready to go on record on Capitol Hill. Take a look.
Ms. Katz, is your client willing to testify before the Judiciary Committee publicly and tell this story?
She is. She's willing to do whatever it takes to get her story forth, yes.
And before you say the White House is going to push this under the rug, you're wrong. White House counselor Kellyanne Conway said this morning that Ford should be heard.
Let me make very clear on behalf of the president, with whom I've spoken at length about this. So put aside all the nonsense that's on TV and in print from people who couldn't possibly be a source familiar with his thinking. She should not be ignored or insulted. She should be heard. But I talked to Senator Lindsey Graham, and he said that that could be done tomorrow so that we can proceed forward. And that's really, we respect the process.
Let me explain what all of this is about. Ford is alleging that back in the 80s, when both she and Kavanaugh were teenagers, that the current nominee attacked her at a party, an incident she later described as an attempted rape. She described the incident publicly to the Washington Post on Sunday, saying, quote, "Kavanaugh pinned her to a bed on her back and groped her over her clothes, grinding his body against hers and clumsily attempting to pull off her one-piece bathing suit and the clothing she wore over it. When she tried to scream, she said he put his hand over her mouth. Quote, "I thought he might inadvertently kill me," said Ford. "He was trying to attack me and remove my clothing." Now, we should make it clear that NBC has not spoken to Ford directly or seen her account of the incident. Ford did not tell anyone about it until 2012, when it came up in couples therapy with her husband. Notes from her therapist at the time reportedly include an account of the incident, but do not specifically name Brett Kavanaugh. She didn't reach out to anyone else until this past summer, when she called the Washington Post tip line and sent a letter to her own congresswoman, who then forwarded the letter to Dianne Feinstein. But Feinstein reportedly kept it hidden throughout Kavanaugh's public confirmation hearing at Ms. Ford's request. Because of that, Kavanaugh did not respond until Sunday, when he released a statement saying, quote, "I categorically and unequivocally deny this allegation. I did not do this back in high school or any time."
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.